Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. I don't understand how you can get this wrong. Monday Night Raw. Leave it to Monday Night Raw to completely mess this up. Take all the enthusiasm out of something so great, make it feel forced and unnatural, and really do absolutely nothing with an NXT invasion but bore me to tears for the greater part of 3 hours, which was nothing more than your typical run-of-the-mill episode of Monday Night Raw, and it was much more painful than cellulitis of the ear. And believe me, I would know, and we are here to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review, swollen earlobe and all. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Okay, so it's big, it's red, it's inflated, and it's absolutely painful. And I'm talking about Raw, not my earlobe. Please do your best to ignore this. I just woke up with this. I woke up with this shit, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I went to the doctor, I got some antibiotics for it. It's supposed to go away in a couple of days. You'll see for yourself by the time we get to Friday if all is well and good. But let's try to ignore that because it was very hard to ignore tonight's Monday Night Raw. I actually sat down tonight with some anticipation, thinking that Monday Night Raw was going to follow up the NXT invasion from SmackDown with something good, with something similar, with something that I could sink my teeth into, something that I could sit here and tell you guys Monday Night Raw was great tonight. But I can't say that to you. I can't say that to you. Monday Night Raw was Monday Night Raw, which means it was absolute garbage. From start to finish, with one minor exception. Just look at what we got on Friday. Friday night, we got interferences throughout the show. We had NXT sticking their nose in where it didn't belong, and we had it end with an epic match for the NXT Heavyweight Championship of the World. Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. Adam Cole beats Daniel Bryan, and then we get an epic, rousing speech by Papa H telling everybody that NXT is coming for you. Everybody was excited. We all sat here together on Friday night and talked about how great we thought SmackDown was. And I was one of the only people here telling you guys to calm down. Let's not get overexcited. Yes, Friday night was great, but I absolutely expected them to not follow up because now the entire roster is back. They are back from their terrible ordeal in Saudi Arabia, and now Vince McMahon has all his toys, and he's going to continue on with business as usual. But now Triple H threw a wrench in the fire because they had to come up with this weird show, and it did better than any other show that they've been putting on recently. So Vince is like, all right, we're going to do whatever that is you want to do, but it's going to be minimal, and we're going to put on the show that I want to put on. Because it was business as usual. Complete with Bobby Lashley, Lana nonsense. Complete with 5-minute matchups for Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy. Complete with a matchup at the end of the night, which ended in a way that I said is how the matchup on Friday should have ended. And of course, I'm talking about Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins. You want to find the easiest way to take the wind out of the sails of an NXT invasion? You put it opposite Seth Rollins. It doesn't matter who you put in the ring with him. Nobody's going to care at this point. Nobody cares about Seth Rollins. One of the reasons why nobody cares about Seth Rollins is not just because he blocks people on Twitter because he doesn't like to hear the truth, but because he gives promos like he gives tonight. Here's this guy who has a lot to prove. He knows he's got the fans on his back. He knows everybody's shitting on him because of everything that's gone on with Bray Wyatt, and he's going to stand in the middle of that ring and say, well, I don't care that you guys are happy that Bray Wyatt beat me. What are you, an idiot? You should care. Your character should care. You should be out there fired up. You should be pissed off at the fans. You should be giving us a reason to believe that, hey, maybe I might go to NXT since nobody gives a shit about what I'm doing here on Monday Night Raw. You want to think you're the best. You want to shit on the fans. And then you want to sit out there and cry. You want to stand out there and cry. I'm Seth Rollins. I'm a little baby. And I don't know what's next because I'm overworked and I'm overexhausted. And I'm going to crack under the pressure like Solomonster said, and then he's absolutely right, and I'm just gonna keep crying in the ring because I don't know what to do next. And then Triple H comes out, and now we go into the NXT portion of the evening. So now I waited all night for this, and now you ruined it, because you got Triple H standing in the ring offering Seth Rollins to come back to NXT. He's trying to fire up the architect. He wants to see the Seth Rollins of old, just like the rest of us do. But he wants to bring him back to NXT. The last thing I need in my NXT is an injection of Nerd Rollins. No, thank you. Let him stay where he's at. He don't need to be coming back to NXT, bringing everybody down over there. This whole thing was awful. It was just a carbon copy of what they did last week, and they gave you the ending that they should have gave you with Daniel Bryan. I don't get it. Daniel Bryan deserves to be beaten by Adam Cole, but it's not okay for Seth Rollins to be beaten by Adam Cole? That's just WWE protecting their boy. Don't you think it would have been a better story to tell if he would have beat Daniel Bryan, if Adam Cole would have beat Daniel Bryan on Friday and then followed up by beating Seth Rollins on Monday night, sending Seth Rollins even further down on this losing streak, maybe giving him a reason to grow a set of balls or turn heel or do something that would be interesting to us? But no, we're not going to do anything like that. We're not going to do anything interesting like that. We're just going to give you the standard NXT invasion, the schmaz ending that we should have gave to Daniel Bryan. Either do it for both of them or don't do it for either of them. Seth Rollins wants to say he's better than Daniel Bryan. I laughed out loud during all that. Standing there right in the face of Triple H. Daniel Bryan couldn't get the job done, but I'm better than Daniel Bryan. I laughed. Ha ha, guffaw. That was the funniest line of the night. Way funnier than all that bullshit I had to hear the Street Profits and Humberto Carrillo try to pull off. You want to talk about dead? The crowd in Long Island was dead the whole night, and man, from watching at home, I can't blame them. I can't blame them one bit because I was bored out of my mind sitting at home. How do you ruin the NXT invasion? All this Monday Night Raw proves is that what made Friday night so special was not the injection of a little bit of NXT. It was because the creative team was forced to think outside the box, do some different things, and try to put on an entertaining show using the pieces that were available. Fortunately for us, those pieces available were NXT, but consequently, it wasn't NXT that made the difference. They could have taken performance-centered graduates right now, or trainees rather, and put them in the place of NXT, did the same exact show, and it would have been just as exciting and felt just as different and just as new. So NXT is not the thing that made it better. Because if it was just the appearance of NXT that made it a great show, then Raw tonight would have been a great show. But the stories that were being told on Friday night are way greater than what we got tonight. We got to see Triple H come to the arena in a lineup of trucks, as if the entirety of NXT was there. And then we didn't see jack shit until Seth Rollins came out. And then we had the Undisputed come out. And then the OC came out. And then we had a little bit of a brawl, and it got minorly interesting for a minute, just because there was the possibility of seeing AJ and Adam Cole tangle just for a brief moment. You want to give away big money matches, don't give us AJ Styles versus Adam Cole, which would have been a bomb burner. No, you got to give us Seth Rollins, because he's your boy now. We got to make him number one. No, man. Awful. Awful. What else did we get from NXT? The best thing of the night, in my opinion, Shayna Baszler's little sit down with Becky Lynch. It was intense. It was meaningful. definitely upped the ante in their confrontation coming up at Survivor Series. They brought in the history with Ronda Rousey being Shayna Baszler's best friend. It was great. It was awesome television. It got me engaged just for those 3 minutes. And then they dropped the ball again for the rest of the night. Until the main event. And then Raw goes off the air in a brawl. You know, one of you guys in the comments section mentioned that that's something that you would do on the Go Home show for a Survivor Series, and you were correct in that assessment. This is not what I called for the end of SmackDown Live, or SmackDown rather. What should have happened on Friday, which is what should have happened tonight, but minus the whole brawl at the end. What you should have had was NXT beating down Seth Rollins only for it to go off the air. Nobody comes out to help him. NXT leaves victorious, only leaving suspense in the air. Is Raw going to try to get revenge this Wednesday? Is SmackDown coming to NXT this Wednesday? I have no faith that any of these things are going to happen based off of tonight's Monday Night Raw. I don't think they're steering the ship in any kind of a different direction. Friday night was a fluke. Tonight proved it. Oh, it was a good match, man. Was it? Was it? I certainly don't think so. The rest of tonight's show, outside of all the NXT stuff we just lined out, and that was it. That was all there was. That was your invasion for Monday. Real good stuff. Monday Night Raw kicks off after the Cadillac attack by Triple H. Listen, before I even go, I have to show you guys. Look, I'm in my Triple H shirt right now. Alright, I put this shirt on before I sat down to Monday Night Raw because I had hope. I wanted to sit here and be proud and say, look, man, Triple H is the guy. But I kind of feel let down. I only wanted to point that out because I'm a Triple H guy, so don't think I'm shitting on him or I'm shitting on NXT. The fact is, WWE Creative were forced into a situation, and we got something special, and now we're just back on that fiery railway train full of dumpster cars that are blazing on fire and smell like shit. Just like a usual Monday night, courtesy of the WWE. After this, we get Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is... Who cares anymore? Who cares? Paul Heyman's out there with Brock Lesnar to talk about he's the Kane Conqueror. I don't care. He's the Velasquez Vindicator or whatever the fuck V word he used. I don't care. None of that matters. Why does any of that matter? You brought in Cain Velasquez to lose in a minute and a half to Brock Lesnar because Rey Mysterio couldn't defend the honor of his own son thanks to an arm injury and an attack by Brock Lesnar. His arm, Rey Mysterio, has miraculously healed. He beat the hell out of Brock Lesnar with some chairs, and now Brock wants vengeance. And this is supposed to be the extending of this story that was supposed to be about Cain Velasquez versus Brock and the giant baby man Dominic getting his ass beat by Brock. And why are you getting down on this, Mr. Nightmare? Well, because Rey Mysterio wants to attack Brock Lesnar tonight. Brock Lesnar's searching all over the backstage area. He's beating up every little dweeb he could find. He's screaming at people. He wants to know where Rey is. He's getting led in the wrong direction. He's ripping off car doors. He goes back to the announce table. He's threatening Jerry the King Lawler. Well, Paul is. Brock's not saying much at the announce table. He's just screaming in the back, Rey! Like Godzilla walking through Tokyo. Rey! Crazy shit. We've seen it all before, but it was pretty intense watching Brock do his thing, and I kind of laughed a few times at how he got at the inconsequential nobodies. But then we come to the end of the segment. Brock Lesnar going to attack Jerry the King Lawler gets confronted by Dio Madden. And props to Dio Madden for stepping up to the beast Brock Lesnar. Anybody that gets in the face of that man, and I had no idea how big Dio Madden is. Holy shit. That guy is huge. To be taller than Brock Lesnar, that means you're a big dude. Brock Lesnar went to attack Dio Madden now, gave him an F5 through the announce table for standing up for his compatriot, and I give him a lot of props for doing so. That was great. All of that was great. And then out comes Rey Mysterio with Dominic's baby bat, or a toy lightsaber, or a wiffle ball bat of some kind. I don't know. It certainly didn't look threatening. Certainly didn't look like it hurt. Sounded like hollow plastic on every shot. And took out the beast Brock Lesnar with a toy? You took out Brock Lesnar's leg with your son's 6th grade T-ball bat. Are you serious? And then to make it even worse, Rey Mysterio wants to go to the back with his little bat club thing, whatever. And says, "Oh, Brock, I'm coming after you. I want to take what's important to you. You took what's important to me. You beat up my son. You attacked my family. I want to take your WWE Championship." Great. But then he goes, "Do you have the guts to step to me like I just stepped to you? Or attack me just like I attacked you?" And I'm like, yeah, he does. He does. He went and did. He threw you into the wall of the backstage like you weighed nothing, like a dirty bag of laundry. He tossed Cain Velasquez on top of your son. He has no fear of coming to find you anywhere. So that statement is stupid, and it makes Rey look stupid. Paul Heyman wants to mention that Brock Lesnar is unfireable. He can do what he wants, and he's here at Raw because he wants to be on Raw now. He had the whole answer right there. He even brought the answer out to you. He said, "Oh, SmackDown made a trade for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross." He mentioned this. But it also had no effect on the whole Brock Lesnar thing. Why would you mention that if it had nothing to do with Brock Lesnar? He's like, "Oh, well, they made a trade for blah, 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 but Brock has a no-cut contract because I'm a Jew." What? What are you saying? What does any of this mean? This is just bullshit. This is the WWE just not... They have the answer right there. He even said the words. That was your answer. SmackDown had 2 future draft considerations. They used one of those draft choices to bring the Beast to Monday Night Raw because Bray Wyatt has the Universal Championship. Why can't you say those words? Why couldn't he say those words? Because that would make too much sense. Instead, he has to go on about Lesnar could leave SmackDown whenever he wants because he's not Roman Reigns, and he's not Seth Rollins, and he's not this one or that one. And that means he makes his own rules. And you think that makes it look better than by giving us the logical answer? Well, there was a trade left undone, and we took that spot in the trade. Why? Because Brock Lesnar's not worth an Alexa Bliss and a Nikki Cross? Who cares at this point? The trade was garbage anyway. The draft was all bullshit. Who cares? None of the draft makes sense. We're really going to go back down that road? No. What does it matter? One more bad decision. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The best part of this thing was watching Dio Madden stand up for Jerry the King Lawler. Other than that, nothing. I want to talk about nothing. Let's talk about the first matchup of the evening, a women's tag team matchup. The Kabuki Warriors, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, versus the WWE's second generation Dream Team. Team Who's Your Daddy? Charlotte and Natalya. Why? Why are they a team again? Is Charlotte good or bad? Like, are we trying to, decide what's going on with the women's roster altogether? Or are we just going to throw randomness out there? Oh, and by the way, we're going to have Charlotte Flair and Natalya beat the women's tag team champions. And Natalya is going to make Asuka tap out in this matchup. All because their names are Flair and Neidhart. Otherwise, what is the reason for them beating the champions in such an inconsequential match for no fucking reason at all? Non-title matchup. No involvement from any of the women from NXT. What was the point of this matchup on this night during an NXT invasion? To embarrass the champions again? Friday you had Kairi Sane losing to Bayley before the invasion, and now tonight you have the champions losing again? I don't give a shit how good the match is at that point. 20 minutes to watch the champs lose again. You know, they are heels. If you wanted them to lose, they could get themselves disqualified. They could find themselves in the losing scenario and decide to walk the fuck off and get counted out with their championships on their belt, on their shoulders rather. The championship belts on their shoulders. And then once Charlotte and Natty are all happy and celebrating that they got the count-out victory, they can hit the ring and get spit in the face by the Green Mist. That's how you write wrestling. Not like this. Not beating your champions. 2 outings in a row. Oh, well, it wasn't a tag team match. Who cares? Kairi Sane is a champion. Bayley is a champion. There should have been no winner in that matchup. If Shayna Baszler was going to attack no matter what and go at and get Sasha Banks, and they should have used that to ruin the match so that neither of the champions can lose. And you protect your titles. What do either of these championships mean? Or most especially the women's tag team division's champions. There's no women's tag team division as it is, and now you just have the people that have that belts constantly losing as if they were the Iconics. What are we doing? What are we doing? Buddy Murphy defeats Cedric Alexander in 5 minutes. Great. Neither one of these guys gained enough respect to get an entrance on national television. You know, they're pretty new to most people tuning in for the first time. They have no idea what these guys are all about, what their music sounds like, anything. You just come right back in. You got Vic Joseph just going on with this matchup as if his buddy didn't even just get squashed by Brock Lesnar. Just going on with business. Jerry the King Lawler at least thanked the guy. He's like, wow, Dio Madden, really thank you for sticking up for me, man. Vic Joseph was just like, business as usual. Don't worry about Dio, he'll be fine. Not like Ronnie James Dio. Nobody cared about this match, and I don't blame them, because they were not given enough time to get invested in the match. These guys didn't have enough time to tell a story. Both of these guys are fantastic athletes and deserve more than 5 minutes. But no, we gotta see stupidity. We gotta see nonsense. Instead of giving the guys that can actually go out there and wrestle some time to go out there and wrestle. They followed this by recapping the NXT invasion from Friday Night SmackDown, to which was one of the best moments of the night. We got to see Friday night again tonight. Great. Then we got the Seth Rollins promo that it was absolutely cringy. He says he's not stupid. He hears the crowd. He knows people are happy that Bray Wyatt beat him for the Universal Champion. The crowd cheered, and he says he didn't care. And as soon as you said you didn't care that the crowd cheered for you losing, you lost everybody else. If you don't fucking care how we feel, then you're worthless. Your character is worthless. You're not a heel. You're not supposed to be saying that. That's what the heels say. I don't give a damn about this city. You smell like crap. If Vince is writing your shit, of course, this town smells. I need a gas mask. That's what a heel does. No, I don't care. I don't know what to do next. I worked so hard all year. I fought so hard. Wah. Triple H comes out and saved us from this nonsense. Seth Rollins isn't sure he has the energy to do this anymore, and I'm not sure what to do next. I know what a lot of people want you to do next. All you gotta do is have a little backbone, bro. Stop being such a whiny little pussy and start showing that you give a shit. Stop being afraid of the Fiend. Stop sitting here doubting yourself because of what some people on the internet like me say about you. Oh, you don't know what I have to say about you anymore because you blocked me, because you got such pussy feelings. You can't accept a little criticism. So Triple H runs down all the accomplishments of Seth Rollins' life, all seemingly coinciding with his involvement. And Seth Rollins didn't take too kindly to any of this. Triple H told him that it was a smart strategy for him to do what he did on SmackDown, and Adam Cole beat Daniel Bryan, and he didn't come alone tonight, and he wanted to know what Rollins would do next. Because whatever it was, it was going to affect what Triple H was about to do next. And he doesn't, and Triple H says to Seth, you don't know how to motivate yourself, but I do. And you're either with me or you're against me. And now the Undisputed surrounded the ring. Next thing you know, out comes the OC. All of a sudden, everybody's in a brawl. Donovan Dijakovic is there. Damian Priest is there. Everybody's brawling around. Eric Rowan and Zack Ryder come out. And Kurt Hawkins and R-Truth. And all this nonsense is happening. All for Seth Rollins? All because the Undisputed are surrounding Seth Rollins, who didn't even make a decision, and there's no reason for anybody to really care. And then once they started beating him down, I don't know why anybody cares. I don't know, all of a sudden everybody cares that Seth Rollins is getting beaten down? It's ridiculous. So stupid. That was after. All this was just the Undisputed and the OC and members of NXT brawling while Seth Rollins and Triple H watched on the inside. Stupid. After the break is when Seth Rollins decides to say, oh, I'm better than Daniel Bryan and I'll get the job done tonight to Papa H, and they make the match for tonight. We then get the weekly dose of Andrade versus Sin Cara ever since they reunited these two back on the same show, only this time they wanted to put in Catalina. They pronounce it like the dressing, Catalina. But all of the graphics that I've seen were spelled Carolina. And it makes me crazy. Because I don't get it. Do you say Carolina Catalina when you speak Spanish? Why would you say that? I would think if you were Spanish, you would say Carolina or Catalina. You're not going to say Catalina. They clearly say Catalina. Ridiculous. And who cares? Who cares about this mixed tag team matchup? What does it mean? It's not going to bring an end to it. Catalina definitely looks like she still needs a little bit of work. Zelina Vega did the best she could. She fought back against Catalina, gave her a Spike Rana, and got the clean pinfall victory for her team. Who cares? Just another Monday Night Raw match that we've seen before and we'll probably see again. Rusev comes out and makes the night go even worse. He wants to put an end to all the drama. But then Bobby Lashley comes out to accept the challenge in crutches with Lana by his side. He says that he's got an injury, but he did not get this injury at the Crown Jewel. He got this injury from banging Lana. So Lana left Rusev because he was a sex maniac to go and be with Bobby Lashley so he could break his dick off in her from having so much sex. Am I hearing this correctly? And somebody got to tell Bobby Lashley to get the milk duds out of his mouth before he goes on stage at Monday Night Raw, because the guy couldn't even say, I pulled my groin. He had a hard time saying anything. Everything was just blah, blah. It was just awful. I tore my groin, is what he wanted to say. I tore my groin. I tore my groin. He couldn't get it out. It was by far one of the most amusing moments of the night, and it wasn't meant to be so. Rusev then is ready to confront these two when Lana says they found somebody else for him to fight instead of Bobby Lashley, and it comes out Drew McIntyre. Why? Reasons, I guess. This match gets extremely out of hand. And I don't understand what the whole purpose of this is. Rusev defeats Drew McIntyre via disqualification because out of nowhere, Randy Orton decides he hates Rusev. What the fuck Randy Orton has to do with what's going on with Rusev and Lana? What is he next in line for Lana? Is he going to challenge Bobby Lashley to be Lana's new squeeze instead of... what? Why? How much worse can you make Rusev look? You got the guy's wife banging somebody else in his face on TV, disrespecting him at every fucking turn, and then you finish this off with fucking Randy Orton giving him an RKO. For what reason? And where is NXT? Wouldn't you have liked to see somebody from NXT, maybe a Damian Priest, come out of the crowd and confront a Randy Orton? Maybe a Pete Dunne? Maybe Keith Lee, Dijakovic, taking a shot at the Viper instead of wasting their time fiddling with the OC for no fucking reason? To stand up for Seth Rollins? Ricochet decides he's going to come out and help Rusev. He goes to execute a baseball slide through the ropes and ends up hitting Lana inadvertently. Good. Who cares? All this added drama for a story that I could care less about. And it's the stories they put the most work into I've seen. WWE Creative, when they find out we hate something, man, they make that the biggest, most powerful storyline on the whole entire show. And when they find out that we like something like an NXT Invasion, they embrace it, they make it part of the show, they make Vic Joseph say it 150 times, oh, NXT Invasion, NXT Invasion, NXT Invasion, but all night long the invasion never comes. But we got time to congratulate the Washington Nationals. We got time for that, but we don't got time for Buddy and Cedric to wrestle. Best part of the night, the Becky Lynch sit-down interview with Charlie Caruso. And not because she had this interview with Chuck, but because it was interrupted by the NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, and this was an excellent piece of business. Shayna Baszler wanted to make one thing clear when speaking to Becky Lynch, and that she is not Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch may have beaten Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Shayna Baszler is Ronda Rousey's training partner and very, very good friend. But she is not Ronda Rousey. And at Survivor Series, she tells Lynch, I'm not going to take my eyes off Bayley, but I wanted to come here eye to eye, champion to champion, and tell you that I'm going to pin you or tap you out. And she was giving me some real strong Samoa Joe vibes. And who gives a good heel promo better than Samoa Joe besides maybe Tommaso Ciampa or Daniel Bryan? Not many people. Shayna Baszler definitely upped the ante on this matchup. Got me really hyped for it. And I think it's going to be great as they announce the women's triple threat match. And we are going to see Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Shayna Baszler, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion. So far, so good on that. What happens after Survivor Series? Who the hell knows? I liked the part at the very end where they stood up face to face. They were standing eye to eye. The whole segment between these two was done very well. And we need more stuff like this. Not stuff like what we seen immediately following as AJ Styles and the OC made it to the arena. They took the microphone. They started to talk shit about the Long Island crowd. And I really don't care. They wanted to talk about the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson trophy at ringside. The best tag team in the world bullshit. And they wanted to say how they don't care about those NXT punks, and they'll send them back to Orlando. Then the Street Profits and Humberto Carrillo come out, and it just makes everything worse. You would think that they would just come out, say something real quick, and then hit the ring and get this six-man started. But instead, they want to say the same line 100 times. They didn't do anything all that entertaining, and then they made Humberto Carrillo speak the same line, then they made him speak it again, and then they made him speak it in Spanish, and apparently it's something that they're not supposed to say, that they've already beaten the OC on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago, but we all know that, so why wouldn't they be allowed to say that? Anybody that watched the show or has read the reports or have watched this show over the last couple of weeks, you know that already, so why wouldn't they be allowed to say that? Because Vince doesn't want to remind us that we've seen all this shit already? Just because you add a third man to the mix doesn't mean we haven't seen this before. You could interchange Humberto Carrillo with whoever you want. You could put in Ricochet, you could put in Cedric Alexander, you could put in Kevin Owens. And where was Kevin Owens tonight? Where was Aleister Black tonight? Mr. I want somebody to pick a fight with me. Then you got NXT picking a fight at your door, bro. Where are you? Why didn't they have somebody from NXT knock his friggin' door down after he gives one of his weird dog promos? Boom! Oh, who the hell is this? Oh shit, the Undisputed's beating up Aleister Black. That's an invasion. There's your fight. Somebody pick a fight with him. Where were these guys? Nowhere to be found. So we could see the Street Profits and Humberto Carrillo dance on stage, repeat themselves 100 times, give a really cheesy, bad back and forth promo with AJ and the OC to go into a 6-man matchup to see the OC defeat Humberto Carrillo and the Street Profits, and I didn't give a shit about any of this matchup. I sat on my couch and I watched it, and not once was I like, oh, great, good reason, good. I'm so glad that they had this match. No, it was useless. Filler, it was nothing. Long Island didn't care. I didn't care. The Viking Warrior Raiders came out to defeat the East Hampton Polo Boys. Polo Boys. Two jackasses with kid and play haircuts, wearing pink polo sweaters and some Dockers. Why are they fighting the champions? This is their warm-up for a triple threat match between the other two champion tag teams in the company? We're going back down this road again. Last week it was the Chicago Cubs. Now it's the Polo Boys. I hate you, Monday Night Raw. I hate everything about you. Finally, the main event. The NXT Championship match. Seth Rollins defeated Adam Cole via disqualification. I hate saying that sentence. Seth Rollins defeated Adam Cole. Because all this is WWE protected Seth Rollins. They don't give a shit about Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's a good man. Daniel Bryan knew the right thing to do, and he put over Adam Cole. Seth Rollins goes out there tonight, cries in his milk, and then, oh, I win. What did you win? You won a beatdown by the Undisputed. You didn't win shit. The thing that pissed me off the most about this segment is like we were talking about earlier in the show, and I might not have delved into it very clearly, and I apologize for that, but if you watched Friday night's review, you know that I said I wasn't too keen on the fact that Daniel Bryan lost that matchup, and what they should have done was had NXT rush the ring as Daniel Bryan was poised and maybe about to win the NXT Championship. Triple H would be pissed off and he would call in the troops. And the troops would oblige and they would save the champ. Because for the first time on that night, NXT was about to look like it was going to be on the losing end of things. But then you have NXT just beat down Daniel Bryan, nobody from SmackDown comes out because there's nobody there. It's a depleted roster. It makes perfect sense. And NXT goes off the air with Triple H doing his speech. SmackDown could get their retaliation on the following Wednesday, or I even thought that SmackDown superstars may show up tonight, being so furious about what happened Friday. Survivor Series, the brand splits don't matter. So why not just do that? SmackDown shows up on Raw to beat up NXT because they knew NXT was going to be there. And then it ends up in a whole free-for-all brand versus brand versus brand if that's what you wanted to do tonight. But instead you rushed it. You rushed it. There's no reason why Adam Cole should not have beaten Seth Rollins tonight. The guy was hit with 19 friggin'... No, that was the other guy. That was Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. I was going to say he was hit with 19 sledgehammers. I'm like, no, that's Bray Wyatt. He hit him with 19 sledgehammers. Seth Rollins is indestructible. Apparently. Anyway, everybody at the end of the show was in this big old brawl. Tommaso Ciampa came out. Very underwhelming. You would think he would have a more prominent role after beating The Miz on SmackDown. But no, now he's just sitting in the back doing nothing. Hanging out and catering with Titus and the boys. I was not a fan of this episode of Monday Night Raw. I think they've already ruined the NXT invasion. And whether or not it was supposed to happen this soon, I think they should have taken the ball and ran with it. The Saudi Arabia situation gave us one of the best shows of the year. And they followed it up by giving us the regular old Monday Night Raw bullshit. All the same old shit you don't care about. All of that. With a little bit of NXT sprinkled in here and there. Because they didn't need NXT tonight. Vince had his show. We're going to do my show. We'll make a few changes here to keep it interesting because of what you did on Friday. But at the end of the day, we're not changing the course. We're Monday Night Raw and we're going to stay Monday Night Raw. Which means we're going to stay fucking horrible. And I have a sad feeling that it's going to affect Wednesday night possibly in a negative way. And maybe bring down NXT. Because it's like they lost focus already. They saw what was great about NXT. Oh, everybody loved NXT being at SmackDown. Well, what was the big thing they did that night? Well, they had Adam Cole fight somebody for the title. Well, let's just do that again on Raw. We don't have to do any of that other shit, though, right, Vince? No, of course not. Fuck NXT. That's your Monday Night Raw review for tonight, you guys. Thank you, as always, for being with me. Thank you for dealing with my weirdness in my ear. I want to know what you guys had to say about tonight's show. Make sure you drop your poop hammers down in the comment section below. Light it up with those emojis because this whole entire goddamn show was a poop hammer. Awful. Absolutely awful, awful stuff. I don't know why that screen just froze there like that, but it is what it is. Monday Night Raw deserves a big, fat poop hammer. Let me know what moment on this night you want to have the poop hammer brought down on. I know most of you guys are going to say right down on Rusev and Lashley and that whole scenario, but I'm sure there are many other of you sledgeheads out there that want to voice your opinion. So please feel free to do so. The comment section, like always, is yours. Poop hammers, please. I want to see them. Then, if you enjoyed today's show, if you liked anything we had to say about tonight, you can smash that like button right now. Share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world. And most importantly, encourage them. And I will encourage you right now to please consider giving this channel your subscription. Hit that subscribe button right now and become one of the over 2,000 plus to know when you want your wrestling news full of fun and good times and honesty and truth and weird ears that the Sledgehammer TV channel on YouTube is the place to be for all of that and so much more. Don't forget to check out everything else you missed on the channel as we brought the hammer down and told you guys every single thing wrong with AEW, NXT, SmackDown Live, and everything else that the professional wrestling world wants to throw at us. We also have our newest installment of the Sledgehammer Shorts series, Drawing the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I drew his ass and I put it up on this channel, and then a few days later he was crowned the Universal Champion. Go check him out. Watch him come to life before your eyes right here on Sledgehammer TV in our very special, very exclusive show, Sledgehammer Shorts, which is one of my new favorite things to do for you guys. So I hope you guys support those videos a little bit better. You guys haven't really been tuning in to the Wednesday Night War Duel reviews on Saturday, but I'm not going to bust your balls too much about that. I know things are going on. We're in the holidays. People got stuff to do. I understand. You don't have to be here watching every show. We're firing shit out each and every single day, and the best way for you to not miss any of that shit that we're firing out, because it's good shit, not like the stinky, dumpy shit Monday Night Raw gives you guys, hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure you're notified so that you get notifications of all that good shit as soon as they go live right here on YouTube. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. The most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. And hopefully next time this will look like this and I won't have to make so many jokes about myself for your enjoyment. But I love you guys, so have a good one.